Your health matters and your voice deserves to be heard. Introducing the show that puts you at the center of the conversation. From common illnesses to complex conditions to the questions you've always wanted answered. Top medical experts.
The cost of maintaining that bed on a daily basis 24/7, because an ICU is a 24/7 unit. One single bed can cost between 2 million and 4 million per day.
Real questions from the viewers, practical answers you can trust. Now, join us every Wednesday at 10 a.m. as we talk openly about issues that affect you and your family. Health Q&A talk show, your health, your say. Very good morning to you. Thank you for tuning in to UBC and joining us on the Health Q&A. Today we started a little bit earlier, that's like 10 minutes earlier, to give us ample time to talk about a topic that affects practically me and you. It affects everybody, I would like to say. We normally say your health, your say, and indeed it's your health and your say. We shall have the WhatsApp number displayed later on screen for you to be able to participate. My name is Sophia Matovu, and it's always a pleasure for me to take time off to be here with you. Our topic today, as you can see, is screen overexposure and its effects on the eyes. I know in this digital age, we are used to always being on our smartphones, we're used to having access to the TV, practically everything, and on our computers because it's got to do with our day-to-day work. But we do not know that it has some effects on the eyes. And we need to manage and see how to regulate. But what effect is that it has on the eyes? Why do we think it's not a no-no? How did the people of that time survive minus these gadgets? And why is it a must for all of us to have these gadgets during this time? Because you find that practically most parents, for the way to contain their kids, most of the kids who are like 2 years, 3 years, own a tab, and it's a fact. They own a tab and they have their cartoon time. Most of the times, the mom has gone to a salon, the child is on a tab, all this. And the eye specialists are seeing quite a lot when it comes to eye care. Now, with this prolonged screen exposure, it definitely is having effects. I normally tell you, I bring experts down in studio to be able to share and tell us what it is that we are not doing right and how we can be able to overcome or correct and ensure that our eye health is good. Joining me on set is Lynette Muhire, a clinical ophthalmologist. No, not ophthalmologist. She will tell us her title properly well, and she's a clinical officer from Lapea, Uganda. She is at the level below the ophthalmologist. The ophthalmologists are the ones who are like the seniors, and most of them we normally see are much older. But she's set out and targeting to ensure she gets to that level. Lynette, a very good morning to you.
Thank you so much for having me here.
Okay.
I'm glad to actually be here today morning.
Okay.
Yes.
Then maybe you would like to tell, because most people know the optician, the ophthalmologist, and you're in between.
In between.
Yes.
Ah, that's actually very good. So, first of all, my name is Lynette Muhire, and I'm an ophthalmic clinical officer.
Ophthalmic, yes. Yeah, that's it.
So now we have 3 categories. There are more. The more you specialize, the more. So we have an ophthalmologist. Those ideally do the whole medicine and surgery, go specialize in it in masters. So ideally they're a little bit older people. Because some of them will see me and they're like, how come I didn't jump? We had another bridging course. Then we have the opticians. Specifically, those are the ones that deal with most of the workshops, like the ones who deal with the fitting of lenses, so inclusive of that. And then we have the ophthalmic clinic officers. Now, generally, this is like a junior ophthalmologist. Because after here, the upgrade is to be a senior ophthalmologist. Now, for me, I have immediately specialized in the eyes. I have not taken a whole long process. So I immediately specialized in the eyes. Specifically, I do all clinical treatment for eyes. I do all refraction, that means refraction errors. And then I do minor surgeries. Then for major surgeries, you hear me saying, let me hand over to my senior. Because now I have to go back for more books to read. Yes, so those are optician, ophthalmologist, ophthalmic clinic officers.
Where did you, okay, now this is going a little bit personal. Where did you get from the drive and the interest? Because there are certain times, many of you people at your age, we have seen more at the optician level. Beyond that, at your level and above, we have not seen people in your age bracket.
So now, for me personally, I think when I finished school, and I wanted to basically deal with eyes. And sadly, at that time, it was a little bit hard and tricky to get into the universities. Like, it was a lot of process. So one of my friends, my mom's friends, was like, no, your daughter can actually go specialize. Because the school right now in Uganda, it's the only one in the whole of East Africa that majors in that. We have many foreign students that come into the country to actually do that. So yes, there was a bridging course where I could just go and specialize before I even upgrade to many levels. So yes, so that's how. But also personally, I wanted to deal with people. And what a privilege to actually have specialized in eyes.
Okay, that's nice. Now let's get to our topic of screen overexposure.
Yes.
When we talk about screen overexposure in this digital era, what are we talking about?
Okay, so first of all, in this current generation and era, everything has been digitalized. Everything to the point that, if possible, you can walk cashless and you can still buy things, you can still be transported. And that is the era, that's where we are looking at too. But now the problem is that it has there's come lack of discipline on how to manage such a beautiful thing we have now in our era. That we have people that are been given an opportunity to do things e-way, e-payment, but then they have lacked the discipline of how to manage. We've had social media platforms that are good, especially are good for business, are good, but then people have just misused it. They spend a lot of time. The things on these apps and these phones. First, exposure is not the problem, but the lack of discipline is the issue. And now come into now maybe have conversations on how to regulate with it and how to, because I can't tell you avoid screens, avoid computers. It's not practical in this day age. But at least we'd have to have the conversation of how do you regulate, how do you keep your eyes despite knowing that this is an issue. Exposure of this is very dangerous to my eyes. Basically, yes, it's how to control and how to have the discipline despite the digital era.
Okay. Now, on average, because of course I believe most of the times you're seeing lots of patients, what percentage, in terms of, like, if we say percentages or numbers, are you seeing as a result of screen overexposure?
That's actually a very good one. I think it's now, we're going to the back to school season, and approximately now, personally, where I sit, I test 20 to 30 people a day. And I want to tell you, out of this 20 to 30 people, I have a big number of close to 50%, 60% of the people that I test actually have been experiencing the issue of photophobia. Yes, and it's because of the exposure, too much exposure to such devices. So yes, roughly now, I want to tell you, it's 60 to 70% of people I test have been exposed to digital device strain.
Okay, you did talk about, what did you say, what did you?
Photophobia.
What is photophobia?
So if you can hear the word is photo and phobia. If someone says they have phobia, it's fear.
The fear, yeah,
and then
true.
photo is in relation to light. So now when someone has what you call photophobia, that indicates that there is fear of light. It's the best simple way I can narrate it. So when you find when someone goes into a room with a lot of lights, their eyes are paining, they're strained, they're tearing. We have people coming in and they're like, when I move into a place with a lot of sunshine, I start getting headaches, my eyes are tearing. Those are signs of there's extreme response to light environments. Yes.
Now, can you say that that is caused due to overexposure of the light on the screens?
Yes. Now, there are two things that happen. First, we have in the anatomy of the eye, we have the first layer of the eye, which ideally is like the skin to the eye, that is meant to protect. But this layer is very, very sensitive to the point that if, let's say, a small stone just entered your eye, it would immediately tear. It won't say, we'll wait tomorrow. It would immediately tear. It would immediately turn red. That's how sensitive it is. But now we have people who, you see these sunshine? Have you ever moved under hot, scorching sunshine and you feel like it's burning your skin?
Yes, yes.
So now it's the same exact way. Or like, let's say, flat iron, you pass by flat and it burns that layer. So now with the eyes, this is what happens. When you're exposed to such environments, they burn the first layer, that layer I have spoken about. Now the problem with it is that when someone is not resting enough, has not regulated, or they don't even have a protective wear, what the eye normally does, it will keep the wound. Tomorrow again you expose it, it just keeps worsening, keeps opening the wound, and then later on it will be very unbearable for you to be in such environments. So yes, so it is back to, as I say, that discipline, and which we're going to talk more on how to manage and navigate with such. Yes. Because
now it's a fact now, I know that the age bracket has increased in terms of the number of people that opticians and most of you people, the specialists, the eye specialists are seeing. What age bracket, according to you, have you noticed is more affected in terms of, like, I know even the young ones are coming in, primary.
Okay. Now this, I'm going to have to say that in now the current time we're in, many people have resorted into, I've had a conversation of, they resorted into digital devices, like in a space where we have lacked community. People have resorted into doing a lot of social media. Now, as you can guess, the age bracket being affected. Anyone that is holding a smartphone, anyone that is holding a tab, I tell people, this photophobia can happen to you happen to someone even as young as 3 years old once they have been subjected to this. It can even still happen to you even as old as 45, as long as your exposure to digital devices has increased. So because we have people coming in and saying, I didn't have this issue when I was young, and she's, let's say, a 45-year-old lady, how can you tell me that right now that's an issue? And then when you keep asking more history, you realize, or maybe now at her job, they are using a lot of computer to send in emails and all that. Then you're like, oh, it's now happening because of this. So age brackets, and anyone exposed to a digital device is most likely to have the digital eye strain. So I don't want to say maybe from the age of 3 to the age of 45, because someone will exclude themselves out. Yes.
Then I believe as eye specialists, you're more concerned now about this. What advice, how do you manage, assuming somebody has come in with this kind of condition and you've been able to identify, because should we say that we are phasing out more of the long-sighted, short-sighted, and it's more of this?
Yes, that's actually very good. Now you see, they are standing factors and standing conditions that are living and existing. Because now, for example, we have refractive errors that come because of age. So with or without the digital device, most likely it is still going to happen. Like presbyopia, we have people whereby they are, when they were younger, they had no issues with reading small letters. But as they grew older, yes, they realized they had to extend devices a little bit way further. So that's a condition whereby whether with the digital era or without the digital era, it still stand. We have things like myopia, short-sightedness and long-sightedness that can happen because of genetics. I tell people, when you come into the room, the first thing I ask after we have discussed is, does anyone in your family wear glasses? Okay, when did they start wearing them? It gives me a background check to say, this is not something that has just happened now. This is something could have been genetic from the father. So the other standing conditions are there, with or without the digital era. But now the pain is, now there is, as much as the digital era is coming, now there's also disease coming with the digital era, and that is the digital eye strain. And that is when people are spending a lot of time, uncontrolled time, on these devices, they will definitely face that issue. Yeah.
Okay, now, then how about I would like you to speak to the bit of like other health conditions as well that are contributing to that. Yeah, there are also medical conditions that are contributing to eyes.
Sorry. So what happens is that we have conditions like
diabetes.
Conditions like diabetes, but First things is when someone already has, let's say, allergic conjunctivitis, allergies already for their eyes, if they're still exposed, as I told you, the digital devices, they burn the first layer of the eyes. So already with the allergies that have been irritated, if you add in also the exposure, it just makes the conditions worse. For example, so if you have allergic conjunctivitis, most likely you're going to experience digital strain faster than anyone else. Number two, we have people that already have, let's say, we call them growths on the eyes. Yes. If you already have such a thing happening, and those ones happen because of too much exposure of ultraviolet, that is in sunshine, that is in, those people who do a lot of field work. If you already have such a condition, most likely digital eye strain, you will have the issue of digital eye strain. Number two, which is not a condition, but lack of taking care of your diet. If you're already very, very indisciplined in hydration, you're taking a lot of water, you're not minding your food, you're most likely still going to have such a problem. So for you, it's just, they've just gotten paraffin and they've just added a fire to it. It's very easy for you to be awakened. So people with allergies, people with already growths with the eye. For diabetes, it depends, because for diabetes and hypertension, it's an in-body system. So now for you, it's that your eyes are already weak. So if we add on digital eye strain, it just makes it a little bit more complicated. But now with these three categories, you're most likely to have that issue way faster than anyone else. Yes.
Now, I'd like you to share with us the signs and symptoms people should look out for as far as screen overexposure is concerned. How do they know that now it is this and not the other?
Okay. So now, for example, I tell people, if you have, let's say, constant headaches, you've been getting constant headaches, and you have gone and tested for malaria, you've tested for typhoid, you've tested for these other medical conditions, and they still can't find it, most likely it's an indication of an eye problem, which mostly is digital eye strain. Number two, we have people whereby they have lost discoloration of the eyes very fast. You find someone, I'm not saying everyone should have white eyes. Ideally, if you actually have white eyes, it's also a condition of it own. But your eyes, discoloration has happened. Like people you find, they always ask you, why are your eyes red? Early in the morning, you don't drink, you don't do those other narcotic drugs or something like that. Most likely, it's an irritation of that layer, which could be caused by a digital eye strain. Number three, we have people whereby your eyes are always itching, they are always tearing, and that was not the case previously. Most likely, you're also in the category of that. So notice headaches, constant headaches, notice redness, notice tearing, constant itching, discoloration of your eyes, and most importantly, even your vision can be affected. You'll find people strained, like once they go on the PC like this, their eyes are strained to focus. It's not because they can't see, because when they come in and without the lights, they can focusly read. And now with the lights, they are strained. It has now started affecting their vision. And that is at the later case if you have not managed these 5 symptoms I've said.
Okay, that's the blurry vision.
Yes.
Oh dear. Now, when they get to you at that point, we have a scenario where certain times we are quick to our own self-medication.
Yes.
That you know for a fact.
True.
I have an irritation in the eye, I'll quickly go and I'll not mention the type of eye drops, but we're very quick to go and buy eye drops.
Yes.
And I believe everybody is a culprit. They have a eye drop something somewhere in their house.
Yes.
Quick to drop in, what's the effect of those eye drops on the eyes?
Now, I have 2 scenarios that happened recently, actually. Now, the first was a very good client. He's actually a very popular man. So he came to me and he's like, I don't know, my eye is red. It's red. Look at it, it's red. So with the conversation, I kept, something was not making sense. I'm like, just couldn't have been red. If you slept early, you told me you were not on devices yesterday. What exactly happened? And then he later on confessed, he's like, I've been using an eye whitener. I'm like, Yes, eye whiteners. Let me say this directly. If you're using it for cosmetic purposes, it's okay, but let it be regulated. At least use it. I tell people, it's just a painkiller, but it's not solving the problem. If you have, as I've told you, if you have an issue with eyes that easily lose color, come, let's have the conversation. Let's dig into the actual problem. Then it's like you have malaria and we have just given you a painkiller. It's not solving the problem. So he told me, so he came, his eyes are red because these eye whiteners, they reduce the blood supply. So they make your eyes white. So your eyes are pale. They are suffocating. They don't have, because these eye whiteners have cut it off. The problem is every time you consistently do it, it's like every time you're holding on a pipe that has water, it's going to burst eventually. There's going to be frustration with it. So, disclaimer, eye whiteners, no. The second case I got, this girl got an issue. Something hit her eye, which is understandable. And then the problem is that instead of them coming to the eye specialist first, what they did, they went to a pharmacy. Now, I don't want to blame pharmacists because it's still a business in as much as it's a medical setting. So for them, they will tell you the knowledge they have. But I can't blame them because I'm also not specialized. It's a little small knowledge they have about it. So they reached an asthma, they gave her an eye drop, which wouldn't have been bad. The problem is the side effects that came with the eye drop. Now she started getting blurry vision. I want to tell you that girl, the only way we can solve that issue is surgery and give glasses even after the surgery. And why should we have reached at that point? Because you've decided to self-medicate. Why don't you wait a night and look for, we have so many places. La Paix has now 19 branches all over the country. We have, even if you're not going to La Paix, we have referrals that have eye specialists before you self-medicate. So those two scenarios, and they have been a cause of self-medication. Or you went to ChatGPT, it told you when your eyes are red, put this eye drop, yes. And now you've gone. Or even someone could advise you. I have people whereby they say, my auntie gave me this. Oh, my mom told me this. It was from a good point of view. But they are not the specialists. They have not studied these things as much. So yeah, so for me, it's a thing of if you're self-medicating, before it catches up with you, please go visit at least once in a while. Otherwise, you're going to have very hard precautions. And now the girl, we are planning to do surgery of close to $1,500 US. Why should you have to reach at that point? Yet it would have been solved very fast with just a test by a specialist to tell you, oh, use this, don't use that. Yeah, so self-medication.
Then I would also like you to speak to artificial tears. It's also one of those common ones. Okay. Where people will feel like their eyes are dry and they'll opt for the artificial tears.
Now for artificial tears, it's like it's a supplement. Now the advantage with it, it lacks those high chemical components. Now for it, if it is a plain artificial tear, it works like a supplement for the eyes. It's like you're just adding in are you adding in more tears or more supplements to the eyes, more oils to the eyes? It wouldn't be bad. It's like if you take vitamin C when you have a cough, it's just a supplement for the body. But it's also very important that even after you have used such, there is still not so much improvement. It would still be better if you came and we tested. Because for certain things, it's easier for me to advise you to do, get a behavior change, get something to do like more practically. I tell people, instead of buying expensively these artificial eye drops, there are certain behaviors I can teach you that you will not need to use eye drops. You don't need to be dependent on them. I can teach you how to regulate with this, how to reduce the grittiness in the eyes. There are certain behaviors we can teach. Even there are certain glasses we give you. I tell people, not everyone wearing glasses is actually sick. Some are wearing them for protection purposes. If you realize you're consistently having that grittiness, dry eyes consistently, that means that now there's an issue with the tear glands, which is okay. As we are managing medically, you can have something you put on so that it reduces the dryness, extreme dryness on the eyes. So it is good that you come and we have those conversations before. At least I would recommend something better in that case.
Then I've heard of one once say they had an issue of reduced blinking of the eyes, you know, due to over screen exposure. Does that really happen?
Yes. So now, one of the signs and symptoms of digital eye strain, we call it muscle spasms.
Oh yes.
In Luganda, I don't know how to say it, but
blinking.
Yes, there's the twitching of the eye,
and
then people will have to regard
which they call echisulo.
And then someone will say when it twitches up, you're going to be happy. When it twitches down, you're going to cry. Apparently, if it's consistently happening, it's actually a medical condition.
Really?
Yes, it's what we call their muscle spasms. It's an indication of eye fatigue. For example, if we sit here for long without stretching, your muscles are going to be paralyzed. And then for some people, they get that immediate shaking because the muscles are trying to get back into shape. Now that twitching, I tell people, there are two things. Sleep time, if you've neglected your sleep time. Number two, even with your eyes, your devices, you're not regulating. You're like this. A gentleman came in and he told me, Musao, I had a project and I'm also studying. So I'm always like this. I'm like, unless you're going to make that money and give it to us, because now we are going to do surgeries for you. So yes, the twitching of the eyes, those are muscle spasms. They are happening to the eyes, and if it happens once, it's okay. If it is happening consistently, you've gotten that twitching, that you've said it's sulo.
It's sulo.
You've gotten more than 3 times a week. No, it is not okay. It is, the eyes are telling you something is wrong. Something is actually wrong. Yes.
So that spasms are different from the blinking.
Yes. So now for the blinking, as I said, now it will relate it to the muscles. Now with the blinking, if you have reduced blinking time, normally I tell people after every 1 second your eyes are blinking. If someone is not blinking, it's an indication either you're not fine mentally or there's actually now a problem with the muscles. So now if there is reduced blinking, as I told you, there is reduced muscle movement, and that's an indication of muscle fatigue. And for others, it can be an indication of age. Age is catching up with you. Like if a 70-year-old man came and told me that, it's understandable. But if you're 35 and that's the issue, it's now a worry for us to have that conversation.
Okay, now how many hours of screen time are considered excessive? If we are to help people regulate, and we know that, okay, after this period I've been on screen, assuming computer, doing my work, I should give my eyes this period of this number of hours or minutes in terms of a break, so I don't have issues.
That's actually a very good question. Now, ideally, according to World Health Organization, it should be anything above 7 to 8 hours a day is excessive time, because that is enough time for it's enough radiations to burn that layer I have told you.
Oh yeah.
So anyone using that time, some even tell me, for me I just check in like 30 minutes, but ideally when you do the whole roughly the whole day, it's rounding up to that time, it's excessive, because you're giving enough time for that radiation to penetrate. So ideally, 7 to 8 hours in a day is now going into excess time. But also we have people whereby, I've trained them how to, even in those 8 to 7 hours, they have like, let's say, visual breaks, which kind of helps a little bit. But still in that time period, it's still excessive time, both for computer and for phone. I know, because some say, the phone has small light, so they disregard it. And then they'll only tell you the computer time. And then only for you to find out that even when they close out at work, they will still go to TikTok the whole night. Now, they have literally spent, out of the 24 and the 16 they are awake, close to 12 they are on their devices.
Okay.
So, but that's roughly the time, 7 to 8 times.
Then how many, when they have the break, how long should the break be?
No, so
after every, how long? Assuming they have to utilize their 8 hours on computer.
Yes. And also, I tell people, every time you're going to spend, let's say, 2 hours straight on a computer, in between the 1 hour, get like a 10-minute break. I tell people that's the time you should go walk around, greet your colleagues, disturb someone, wash your eyes, have the conversation, ask someone about something. You give your time, your eyes, first of all, for muscle relaxation, because they have been seated. If you sit for a long time, you get muscle pull. Why do you expect your eyes, they will not get tired? So you use those 10 minutes to just walk around, greet someone, take water, wash your eyes, just do something different, look aside. Yes, I'll literally talk about, in management, I'll talk about 2020 rule, something that some people can use more practically. But yes, for now that it's like in every after 1 hour, have those 10 minutes you're walking around. Yeah, it helps with that. So meaning in 8 hours, in a row of 2 hours, ideally you should have had like 40 minutes when you were just relaxing a little bit. Yes.
I think it would be nice for you to talk about that rule right now, because many people who are in offices working would need to learn how to manage their time, not to affect the eyes.
Okay. So we have what we call the 2020 rule. What it says is that after every 20 minutes, you should look at an object 20 feet away for 20 seconds. For example, if I've been looking at, let's say, this camera for 20 minutes straight now, I take some time and look at something way far, 20 feet away for 20 seconds. It helps with the muscles to relax. Yes, it's a very practical thing. I have someone who put in an alarm to remind him every 20 minutes to look away. Yes, it helps with muscle relaxation. So it's the 2020 rule. After 20 minutes of looking at something, look at something 20 feet away for 20 seconds.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yes.
And it works effectively, right?
Yes. Very effective. Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting to know. Now, of course, we have the viewers that are participating. This is your show, Your Health, Your Say, we normally say. And let's start by taking in some of the questions. Good morning, I'm Deo from Hoima. Thanks for the program and making more awareness to the public. Can someone with did he call it a diploma in nursing specialize in ophthalmology? If yes, at what level?
If they've already done the diploma, Mengo actually now has that higher education for ophthalmology. They can go, Mengo Hospital has it. They can go specialize.
Okay, Mengo does it.
Yes, it does.
Okay, Alex, I hope you've had that, at least gladly. Mengo Hospital does have that on their program. Now then, hello everyone, thanks for the program. I need to know what could be the cause of eyelid failure to open and opens up to 5 to 10 minutes with a lot of pain. Oh,
so we have certain conditions. We say the medical term, blepharitis, but that's a condition with eyelid muscles, so they need to actually come. We do a testing. It's treatable if we can get medicine and even surgery. So it's a condition that is treatable. Mostly it's an inflammation with the eyelids that is making it hard for you for it to move and for it to move and then for it to open easily. So inflammation of eyelids, but also would need for them to come and we test and see what exactly is bringing that.
Okay.
If it's an infection, we give medication. If it requires a certain surgeries we do to lift that muscle, it would help so much with that.
Sorry about that pain, but I think you shouldn't let it last for long. You need to go and have your eyes examined. The sooner the better. Then hello, Dr. Lynette. I find a problem reading in a place where light is dim, including dim light on the phone. Most people want dim light. I have a problem with much light, including much sunshine. Do I have a problem?
Yes, you do. Why? As I told you, now those are the signs. It's the photophobia, the fear of light. So it's an indication of early stages of digital eye strain. You need to come, we test and see why don't you want light? What's the issue?
Okay.
But also maybe asking the exposure, how much time do they spend on such devices for us to have this conversation.
Okay. Then good morning. I've been having a corner on my eye for 2 weeks now. It brings pus in the morning. Kindly advise.
They have
a wound.
A wound?
Yes.
On the eye?
He's saying in the corner of my eye.
You need to come.
But
That's-
2 weeks is
that's
too long.
Yes, that's an infection.
Mm-hmm.
It's an infection with pores. We have pores here. So when someone cries, there are open pores that release such. So if there's an infection there, that's the indication. Discharge, swelling, pain. Yes, extreme pain. And you'll even see they will swell from those points. So
And then there are others who normally get what I don't know the medical term, but in Luganda it's called akasekere. That bit that will swell like a pimple or like a boil at the lower or the upper eyelid.
Yeah, now you see, like the way you have a pimple. Pimple is just an indication of there's an oil gland that has swollen up. And then after, that's why you see people, they wait for it to get ready like well, and then they pop it out. And then your skin goes back to normal. Now, for some people, it can be that. Because even with the eyes, I told you, there's a layer of the skin there. But also, number 2, we have hair follicles on the eyes, the eyelashes. If something tampers with it or an infection goes specifically in that, there would be that swelling. So for some people, it can happen just like the way you'd have a pimple, well and good, but also that inflammation of that pore in the hair follicle can also be an issue.
Okay, so it is what will lead to that. Okay, just like we're seeing on screen.
Yes.
But how is that normally dealt with? Because, you know, you've had people getting into their traditional, wanting to expose crude stuff to it.
Yeah, talk about traditional, yes.
Even you've heard of scenarios where they say if you have red eyes, use your own urine. And they go to extremes of wanting to get things to deal with situations like that.
In my time of practice, I encountered a gentleman. He's a driver. The drivers who go to Kenya, So he got an issue with the eye, and basically there was no medical facility. And his friends in the conversation were like, just use urine. And Seti didn't know he had an STD. So for men, they take long to find out. For ladies, it's easy. You can easily just get irritation. For man, until he starts having hard time like urinating, that's when they'll know, oh, there's a problem. So he got that. And put
in the eye.
I'm telling you, he came with his cornea melting, like falling off. He had a lot of pus that we were holding a very big patch of cotton to hold it. Because now we have what you call that gonorrhea. Gonorrhea is very dangerous to the eyes. It will burn. We told him you're very early. And guess what? He put it on Friday, because for us, Monday, that's when we open. On Monday, when he came, he was dying. The eye was moving out. It's very deadly. It's very deadly. And for traditional medicines, no disclaimer, honestly, we are all for nature, I understand. But those things have not been first really tested well. They are crude. They can ideally burn the eye. Why are you risking to put it on? At least I tell people, it depends on what you're taking it for. But something with your eye, it's very delicate. If a stone can fall in and it is crying, how about this traditional medicine you're putting in? It's you've got an acid and you've just deliberately decided to kill your eyes. Yeah.
Okay, good morning. I'm Jacob Omong from Leda. What is the distance between my screen TV and my sitting place? In terms of like if you have to protect your eyes, that distance, how far should it be?
Oh, ideally it should be 50 centimeters away from you. 50 centimeters. So you can just calculate 50 centimeters away from you would be ideal for the computer, specifically computer. Yes. For screen, honestly, for your phone, really, it should be at least 20 centimeters from you. So if you're doing anything, this should be it. Anyone who is like this, you're just bringing the fire closer. So, but for screen people, if you're using devices, desktop or laptop, 50 centimeters away from you.
Then, okay, before we get into the break, then there are these ones who believe, okay, they'll get their big screens as long as it's a distance. But I think the bigger, the more light it emits. And for them, it's that. And they're like, it is there, I'm watching.
I've told someone, I was like, you know that there are few devices that have, we call it the anti-blue cover. They are very expensive. There are few companies that are putting it, Apple, and they're putting it in the extreme expensive areas. Now these ones that have been imported in, they don't have it. Now someone will tell you, no, mine has that to cover. I'm like, no. If you bring it and you check, it will still not have it. So the bigger the device, the more exposure to the light.
Okay, at this particular point, I'd like us to take a very short commercial break. When we do return, Lynette is still here with us, and she's going to be able to respond to, like I can see you have very, very many questions. She's going to respond to you right after the break. Your health matters and your voice deserves to be heard. Introducing the show that puts you at the center of the conversation. From common illnesses to complex conditions to the questions you've always wanted answered. Top medical experts.
The cost of maintaining that bed on a daily basis 24/7, because an ICU is a 24/7 unit. One single bed can cost between 2 million and 4 million per day.
Real questions from the viewers. Practical answers you can trust. Now, join us every Wednesday at 10 a.m. as we talk openly about issues that affect you and your family. Health Q&A talk show, your health, your say.
It's finally here, and you're all invited. This Thursday, the 7th of May, 2026, is the grand launch of UBC Totore Radio 90 FM, based in Moroto, Karamoja. Come be part of this great milestone. The launch begins at 8 a.m. in Moroto Town, Karamoja. Come and enjoy the vibe of UBC Totore 90 FM. Nginayoka.
I know what Uganda needs. When General Caleb Akantwanaho retired, Salim Saleh presented his long, detailed analysis of Uganda's economy and structured recommendations for improvement in the form of the Third National Development Plan, NDP-3, to President Museveni. He laid out the kinds of problems that many Ugandans feel every day, but rarely see captured in one place. He was doing what he has done for years, breaking down the problems holding back ordinary Ugandans. He talked about distortions in factors of production, such as land conflicts that choke investment, the high cost of finance for ordinary people, the shortage of skills among youth, the slow pace of value addition, and the gap between production in the villages and the factories in industrial parks. It was the kind of diagnosis a technocrat offers when trying to get a country unstuck. The president's reply was striking in its simplicity. I know what Uganda needs. At first, to others, it might have sounded almost dismissive. But when placed in the context of 40 years of state rebuilding, economic reform, and political stability, it revealed something deeper. A belief that Uganda's path to transformation has been consistent, deliberate, and informed by lived experience rather than theory. His confidence is not based on guesswork. It's based on the journey already traveled. He always stresses that any serious revolutionary discussion about the economy of Uganda, or indeed much of Africa, should include the following questions. 1. What was the economy of Uganda like in 1900, at the dawn of colonialism? 2. What was the economy of Uganda like in 1962, at the sunset of colonialism? 3. How and what was the magnitude of the collapse of the Ugandan economy between 1971 and 1986? Idi Amin, Obote II, Okello. 4. What, therefore, was the economy of Uganda like in 1986? 5. What is the Ugandan economy like today, and why?
In a nation hungry for truth, a world where every story matters, there exists a beacon of trust and reliability. For decades, they've been our voice and our window to the world, holding the mirror of our history. With 4 TV stations and 11 radio channels spanning 27 languages, they stand as guardians of information, defenders of truth. With Mascari Heritage Advantage, they uphold every citizen's right to reliable and free information. Their archived stories shaped our past and illuminate our present. Yet now, as new challenges arise and the world evolves, their mission faces its greatest test yet. Be part of our journey and let's navigate the unknown, uncover the untold, and safeguard our future together. Tune into your public broadcaster, for it is the intersection of trust and truth. Because to UBC, your story, and every voice matters. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Your health matters and your voice deserves to be heard. Introducing the show that puts you at the center of the conversation. From common illnesses to complex conditions to the questions you've always wanted answered. Top medical experts.
The cost of maintaining that bed on a daily basis 24/7, because an ICU is a 24/7 unit. One single bed can cost between 2 million and 4 million per day.
Real questions from the viewers. Practical answers you can trust. Now, join us every Wednesday at 10 a.m. as we talk openly about issues that affect you and your family. Health Q&A talk show. Your health, your say. Welcome back from the short commercial break. It is still the Health Q&A, and we say your health, your say, and we are talking about screen overexposure and its effects on the eyes. It's your time. Like we say, we normally give you the opportunity to be able to interact with the specialists that we bring on set. I'm still going to read out your questions. Now here we have, I'm Charles from Machi, India. I have a problem with my eyes. When I work in cement, you find that the eyes turn red and start itching. What causes that?
Working in cement, they turn red. Now you see, cement has it's a silicone component. It's very irritable for the eyes. So first of all, if you're working in such environments and your aura is in that, you can get protection wear. Normally, even people who do welding, they have it. So even you who is doing cement, get protection wear. Some I tell them get what we call them polarized sunglasses. That even when you wear them, you can still see things clearly, but they have a protection aspect. So that such chemicals are not falling into your eyes. So for cement, it has that aspect, that property. It's very irritable with the eyes.
Okay.
Yeah, so most likely that's the thing. When you're doing such physical activities, have those protection wears that you're wearing.
Okay, where can he get them from?
Currently, we actually have them, polarized sunglasses. Even if you need to get delivery, we can find ways of delivering them for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then hi, glad to catch up with your program on UBC TV. My daughter, who is at the age of 14, is sometimes facing problems of the eyes, itching and tears coming out. And this is Bakola from Bombo.
So now, first things first, we need to assess to see if they're developing allergies. For such people, because they're a little bit younger, their bodies are very fragile. Normally, for a human body to start stabilizing is between the age of 20 to 24. Honestly, by that time, all development has fully developed. Your wisdom teeth has developed, your bone development has developed, everything. So within that time, their eyes are fragile. So you could bring them to check and assess if it's an allergy developing or still signs of what I told you of photophobia coming up in such a person.
Okay. Every morning when I wake up, some parts of the day my eyes shed tears. What could be the problem? This is someone from Ginger.
Every morning when she wakes up?
When he wakes up.
When he wakes up?
Yeah, the eyes shed tears.
Shed tears? when you pinch someone, if you pinch a baby, what happens? There definitely has to be irritation. Now, as I still tell you, still from the conversation I've had of digital eye strain, tearing is one of the signs and symptoms. But also, still, I can't diagnose from here. It's very good you come, we assess irritation. Your body is reacting to something. Sometimes it can be, because every morning, most likely I would suspect it's either coldness that is affecting it, or some people it's the lights. So you need to come and we assess for allergic reactions or to digital eye strain.
Okay. Good morning. Thank you so much for the program. I'm having eye itching problems, but normally happens at night. But when I use Probeta N, drops especially, it becomes better. What could be the cause?
Okay.
And the itching is only in the night?
In the night, yes. Now, as I said, those are allergic, we call it allergic conjunctivitis, irritations of allergies. It's very good. I like the fact that you have indicated when. It's good because not everyone reacts to everything. There are people who are reactive to dust, that for them the coldness is not an issue. So those could most likely be allergic conjunctivitis. Probeta is a good aspect for allergies, but you need to control how you use it. And it would also be just good to assess how severe the issue is. We could get either better drug or use a less higher drug than that. Yeah, so that's good. I like that you indicated when, what triggers. It helps us even assess faster or better. But most likely those are allergic reactions.
Okay. Then this one is from Arua. My eyes are always yellow. What is the problem?
Yellow, we have two things. Most times it could be a liver issue. Yes, a liver issue. But also for some people, it can be an issue with supplements for the eyes. I tell people it's not only what you're seeing, but also what you're intaking in. Certain foods you're not taking, right? But also it could be a liver problem. So we need to come and assess. I need to find out, do they have swellings? How is their outtake, like urinating, We need to have those conversations, and there are certain tests we need to run for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, my dear, you didn't mention your name, but I think you need to take it very seriously. Don't take it lightly. Yellow eyes quite indicates a lot of health conditions. Run to the doctors and have that sorted out as soon as possible. Then why is it that normal air sometimes irritates my eyes, and when I look at something white, I get eye pain?
Welcome on board.
You do have the same?
Yeah. Welcome on board. Now, she or he, please come for the test. We'll be glad to test you and give you photochromic glasses. You've joined the club. I told you, it's that thing that you reach a point whereby anything with bright light affects you. Me, I had a lady who came in and said, if she finds someone wearing, let's say, a bright color from afar, just a color, and it's a dress, or let's say it's yellow or red, it will irritate her. I'm like, you've reached a point where by now if someone wears a bright thing, it's a problem. You've joined the club. So you come actually, we assess you. Most likely you're now experiencing the photophobia.
Okay. Then this one is from Masindi. Why do he's saying squeeze my eyes, but I guess it means squint in order to see something far.
Short-sightedness. Come for a test, short-sightedness. Yeah, short-sightedness. That's when I mean by short-sightedness, call it myopia. That means your sight is good at shorter distances. When far, it's not that you can't see it. It's that sometimes you strain to focus. I tell people, not everyone, some come and say, I'm actually fine, my eyes have no problem. But when you test and assess, they can't read certain things from a distance. Then they're like, I know it's because maybe I'm tired. It's an indication of short-sightedness. So you need to come earlier and we check and see.
Okay, and then I experience eyelashes pain all around both eyes. Please help. I don't know for how long that is that you've been experiencing that, but the eyelashes.
Okay. Pain, when did it start? Are there inflammations? Is there swelling? There are a lot of details I need for me to conclude with what the problem is. Please come. You come for a test. I'll be mentioning the branches. Maybe you could join any of them and see and do that test.
Then my mom has itchy eyes, at times turning red blurred vision, and at times producing some whitish substance. What is that, and how can you help or advise? This is somebody from Chiriandongo.
They have?
Okay, he says that they have itchy eyes, at times turning red. Then they also experience blurry vision, and at times the eyes produce that white substance. Yeah. So how can he be helped? He's all the way from Chiriandongo.
Okay. Now, later on, I tell people, you see the eyes, every time they're itching and you scratch them, they develop wounds inside. The issue with the wounds, if they are not managed properly, if any infection falls into it, it will have discharge. You will get what we call like pus, like normal pus that would happen to the eyes. So we need to assess you for allergic conjunctivitis, but also very importantly, to see if you don't have any wounds in the lower layer of your eyes. That could be leading to that discharge. So we need to assess you for that infection and probably treat it, because if it's still within the manageable ways, we can easily treat it.
Okay. Now this is Tracy from Gulu, and she's saying, I have been having a problem with my eyes for a month now. My eyes pain a lot when I'm using a computer or my phone, and when the sun is too bright. I experience itchy, then they also have dark circles and pain from the inside. What could be the problem? I work for 8 hours a day and read for like 5 hours before sleeping as well.
I have nothing to tell you. My dear, you just ticked all the 5 symptoms and exceeded all of them. Pain, the itching, tearing, having hard time, you've just described it. You're experiencing, most likely, I am not a prophet of doom, most likely you have digital eye strain. So please come for the test. Come for the test earlier on, and given that it's a work thing, you need to work. First of all, you need to regulate your screen time. But if in cases of work, at least get digitalized glasses. They're those glasses that regulate, they filter out excess light. So that even you wear it when you're going to be on computer, it regulates that light. And then when you're going to sleep, you take it off. I tell people, when you're at home, you don't need to have them on. But if you're going to be on screen for a long time, you have them on for protection purposes, because your eyes are much important as your work.
Okay. To the doctor, what causes eyes to start itching? If I read something, be like a book or newspapers for 10 minutes, and how can this be solved? This is Edgar from Chisoro. If he's reading a book, be it a newspaper for like 10 minutes, then the eyes start itching. Yeah, so he would like to know what's the cause.
Oh, he's reading a book. So we need first find out how old are you. As I told you, there are certain refraction errors that come due to age. So now people have presbyopia. If they strain their eyes to read for a long time, the pain, the itching, some even they easily sleep. Someone came and told me, I easily sleep when I'm reading. You lose this interest because of that. So we need to assess you for presbyopia.
Okay. Then there is this gentleman, Simon from Namosindwa. My girl has got eye problem. They appear red. I have tried all sorts of treatment, but in vain. I went as far as Tororo Hospital. So what could be the problem?
Eye problem?
The eyes are red.
Eyes are red?
Yeah.
Okay, so you went to Tororo and you didn't get... Now
they appear red, that's what he says.
They appear red. Now you see, that could be a sign of irritation. As I said, when you pinch a baby, they immediately turn red. So there is a sign of irritation. We need to find out what triggers that. But also it is very important that we assess for, we call it we test for the conjunctiva. We see how can it manage, like what's the issue, what's irritating it specifically. Is it dust, is it sunshine? But also that could be an indication of photophobia coming up. Yeah, we need to assess for those two. So if you went to Tororo, I would recommend first, by the way, if you're coming to a medical setting and you did a test elsewhere, carry your medical reports.
True.
So that we are not doing a whole new reset. It's easy for me to just assess what they did and then just do the last testing that they didn't find out. So yes, if you're coming for the test, come with your medical reports. We can easily just find out what it is.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe another thing, don't self-medicate. I need to say that Because now you'll be tempted to do, they call them eye whiteners. And I've told you they have precautions with it. So don't self-medicate. Come at least try. You come and try and see. Get time if you could come to Kampala, personally to where I am. You come and we assess with your documents.
Okay. Then this is Jane from Gulu. Since birth, my baby has been tearing and white discharge coming from the eyes. But I've been taking her to hospital up to now. They give her eye drops saying I keep on massaging. Did you hear that? I keep on massaging and put the eye drop. She will outgrow it, but still no improvement. She is now 2 years and 10 months. Is there hope for getting better, or surgery is the only solution? Sorry, Jen, about that.
Now, I want to tell you, anything that deals with, we call them toddlers, is a tricky part. Most times what we are doing is we are hopefully waiting that the body can mature faster. Now, for them to give you eye drops, first of all, don't lose hope. She's still young. He or she's still young. She can get better as time goes on. You just keep on with the medication. We are dealing with a young person. They are very unpredictable. What we don't want is that if it's not managed well, it can get worse. And now we'll have conversations of surgeries. So, but for me, it's a thing of be diligent with the medication. Be diligent with the medication. If they have told you to massage, massage. If they have told you to go after every month to go for a test, go. If you did it for immunization, you can still do it for the eyes. And be patient with the hope that she's going to actually get better with time. So for toddlers, it's tricky. They start real, now their body starts getting real good and strong. At 8 years, below that, anyone in the medical field knows it. They easily get flu, any coldness, they have pneumonia. Even in the eyes, they get irritated. So just be diligent with the medication now, as we see. Unless, honestly, even with the medication, there is no relief, we come, we test, we come and we assess. But be patient until they start stabilizing. I'm giving you the time range. She's 2.5. We still have more 4 years.
But still, you know, I can feel them as a parent, because you can imagine your child constantly having discharge. You know, that irritation. Could it be an allergy? What could it be? Because they're desperately seeking for answers.
So now the most cases, as I said, they're allergies, but also we have what we call those bacterial infections. But that happens if the layer of the skin is very weak. It's still under development, so it can easily get sick. But also maybe to talk to the mom on how precautious they are with the kid. I tell people, if this child is already irritated by coldness, the moment it gets cold, cover them. Like, even if you're not around, have the people around, inform them of the problem so that they can easily manage. So now you need to first of all indicate what triggers it. If it is happening consistently, it's a worry. But if it's happening at certain periods of time, for example, we have children that are very irritated by coldness. So the moment it's cold, their eyes are paining. We have people whereby they're irritated by dust. How do you know this? When they go out to play with their friends, that's the time they'll complain. Others, we have sunshine. Also still, when they go out with their friends, or when you walk with them in a sunny environment, the moment they reach home, they'll tell you, "Mommy, my eyes." It's now you as a mother, you need to now first assess the child, because you're the one who spends most time with them. You would give us more information to help with that situation. So if it's happening consistently, that's a medical worry. But if it's happening once in a while, take time to find out what exactly is triggering it. What am I doing right? Does it happen during sunny environments? Also, does it happen during cold environments? Now, like for cold, honestly, you should cover them, let them have a sweater, head socks. There are certain things we do for such people. Yeah, so first assess you as a parent. First assess as a parent. But if it's still not working out, you can come for further medical recommendations.
Okay. Then this one's question is almost in the same direction. This is Winnie. She has a one-year-old son who is having tears rolling down his eyes whenever he's taken out of the house, and even rubbing his eyes. Could it be something in the environment, you know, that the child reacts to, because when they step out, there's certain substances? Because I've had a scenario of once a child I knew of, and they didn't know that there were particular flowers that were giving off pollen, and the child would react to that.
Now, as I said, So between the age of 1 to 8, it's a critical age. They are easily very reactive. So first find out what. Now they can go out, yes, when they play out with their friends, like maybe an indication of maybe they're irritable to dust. Number 2, is it the light issue? What happens? Do they have discharge? I tell people, if an allergic irritation has discharge, now it has become an infection. But if it's just itching and pain, it's just allergies, we can still manage. So first of all, first find out. When they move out and play with their friends, is that when it happens? Or when they just move out in sunshine? It helps us it's either photophobia or allergies, to separate the two.
Okay. Then you have Priska. She did a surgery from Mengo for, my goodness, I can't pronounce this medical term, 3 months ago. And then last week she checked and it is back again. There's a particular condition, something. And she lives in Juba and the heat is so strong and she feels so uncomfortable.
The surgery. What's
Yes.
the surgery? Let me see. Oh, pterygium. Oh, these are the growths I was talking about.
Growths in the eyes?
Yes.
Okay, explain about those growths for a viewer, because I'm sure we're going to have other scenarios of people with those kind of conditions.
Okay.
Okay.
Miss Priska, get photochromic glasses. Yeah, get photochromic glasses. The earlier the better. They would help you much better. Yes, because at least, because when we do surgeries, now what is the pterygiums? Now these are growths that come on the first layer of the skin as a protection wear if you're exposed to extreme ultraviolet lights, and even for some it can be blue lights. That's now what happens is it burns. The skin is burnt. As I've told you, devices, sunshine, they burn. The normal tendency of a body is to grow a covering. Like if you get a wound, would expect that you get a scar after. The bigger the wound, the bigger the scar. Now, exposure to that for a long, long time, it creates a very big covering. It's a way the eye protects itself. The problem with this covering, it starts to cover the cornea. It starts to grow towards the cornea. And now the issue is that it affects how you see. Normally what we do, we just do surgery to remove it. The problem is that even after the surgery, what we do is we recommend you get what we call ultraviolet glasses or photochromic glasses that regulate with that light. Otherwise, it's most likely for it to come back again and again you do surgery that you could have prevented. So the earlier the better, get the protection glasses. Way better, they would help you so much. Unless you don't have any other medical condition or any refractive problem.
Okay, now that you did talk about the photochromatic glasses, it looks like it's a trend. Yes, you hear everybody telling you, look at somebody you've not met them in a while and you're like, oh, now you do wear glasses.
Yes,
oh yes, they're photochromatic.
Yes.
And that's what they'll tell you. It's like it's a trend, it's something to, you know, brag about. Tell us a bit about those glasses.
Okay, now photochromic glasses, these are glasses where when they change. When you're indoors, they're clear. When you move out, they turn dark. Now the thing with them, they are a protective wear. They have filters and shields that regulate with that, with excess light, so it depends. So we have like 3 kinds of photochromic glasses. Maybe now to tell you if you're going to buy them. If you're coming to La Paix, we'll definitely give you more details. But for some people, you just buy them online and they have not described to you what it is. You have just seen, some gentleman came and said, why do you sell it in Luganda? Why are your glasses expensive? Okay, he was saying, why are your glasses, I told him they're 290. Why are they expensive? I'm like, we have these ones of 190. Still, me found on TikTok, a girl was selling them at 25,000.
Oh, wow.
So I had to now go back to educate the difference in those glasses. We have 3 kinds. We have what we call anti-glare glasses. Now what these ones do, they make the image brighter and better. So the light is still going through, but it's a little bit brighter and clear. Yes, it's like when you have a camera filter, it's a little bit brighter and better. Number 2, we have what we call photochromic glasses, mostly the standard photochromic. Normally those ones just have, let's say, tint for sunlight, so when you go out in sunlight, they turn dark. But also they have Some have ultraviolet coatings. It's very important you ask. Otherwise, they will just give you tint for sunlight without ultraviolet coating, and they will not have helped now with that lady who has the growth. And the ultraviolet is the most important aspect we need in such. Then too, we have photochromic digital. Now these ones have an extra layer for blue lights, that is phones, screens, computer. Then we have another third category, is just the blue light glasses. Those are mostly for digital. So when you're buying glasses, ask, say, what are they for? What properties do they have? Honestly, the person will be able to describe what it is. And also even the prices are different. The more filters it has, the more expensive it has. The more expensive it is. So sometimes worry if someone tells you they have sunlight, they have ultraviolet, they have digital, and then the price is 25,000. Worry, most likely you're being scammed.
True.
Yes. So.
Then we have this one who is saying, I need help. They need help. The cry is really so pronounced. The moment I started using eye drops, I started feeling itchy eyes. What could be the problem? Are the eye I'm sorry to laugh. Are the eye drops self-medicated, or have they been given to you in the hospital? And why are you using the eye drops for starters?
Yes. Still, self-medication is happening here, and it's bringing that.
Yes.
But also, if they were medicated to you, I tell people, you go back again and tell them. Because now, sometimes we as doctors, if you have not experienced something, let's say, some people came to us recently, and they were very irritated by a certain eye drop, and then realized it's a component in it that their body is reactive to. You go back again. At least they would recommend, if it is an eye specialist, not the pharmacy. Because the pharmacy is going to make business. They will just sell to you another thing. If you got it from an eye specialist, I trust our colleagues, they will be able to advise better. But if you got it from a pharmacy, no, please. Go to the eye specialist. At least they would recommend something better, or find out why you're irritable to such.
Okay. Now this is Rodney from Nebi. I am having an eye problem. Like whenever it's cold, my eyes start itching and watering. I normally use X-Beta. I think it's, I don't know if that exists. For it, should I continue using it, or should I first go and first go for a checkup?
First checkup. I don't recommend using eye drops without you first testing. First checkup. Checkup, honestly.
Now this is Julie. This is Julie. My vision is blurred. What could be the problem? I wear glasses, but it's getting worse.
How long have you worn the glasses? It's a question we need to ask. Glasses are not forever. They're non-living things. They wear off. But also, your body changes. After 8 months, something is changing about your body. Those are for people between the age of 24 years and above. Every 8 months, something is changing. But it's not practical to be changing every 8 months. So normally in 1.5 years, you should be going back for a review to see, because the prescription could have changed, but also the tints wear off. Like the way when you buy a new shoe, it will not be the same way you wear it after 1 year. The sole wears off, which is understandable. It's a non-living thing. It tends to degenerate. That's the nature we are in. So first of all, please do a review. Most likely the tints have worn off. Number two, I would recommend if it's within the time range I've told you, 1.5 years, you're due for change. Psychologically, go ready to change, because you're actually due for change. Then for something I need to hint on, for the children, it's different. For them, every 4 to 6 months, they are changing. I have had parents that come into the hospital and they're like, we just bought these glasses a year ago. And the kid they're talking about is 8 years. I'm like, the kid you brought, the kid was this height, now she's this height. You want to say when the eyes are not changing? They're also changing. So for the children, after every term, 4 to 6 months, you should be coming in to check. And psychologically be ready that every 1 year you're changing. Until they stabilize. There is an age where they stabilize. Now they start changing after every 2 years. Yeah, so that's the time ranges you should be planning to change.
Okay. Then, hello. I put lash extensions yesterday.
Okay.
But my eyes are very red. What can I use? There is no pain or no swelling.
Beauty is costly.
You know?
So my dear, I've put eyelashes before, and the experience was uncomfortable. Though eventually I had to can get used. If it is your first time, please just you can do, we call them light massages. Get a clean cloth, put it in warm water. You just lightly massage. There would be some relief. But also it depends on the chemical used. Makeup artists know this. There are certain glues they put that are not human friendly for the eyes. So it's also very important. I first recommend do the light massages. If still even after 3 days, honestly the irritation is there, then go back to the makeup artist or take them off and then get a makeup artist that knows how to do it, because most likely they have just used the normal glue, yet there is a human glue they use to put them on.
Okay. My son is 13 years old. There are some times when my son scratches his eyes and they turn red brownish. This is Annette from Boshenyi who would like to understand why.
Red brownish allergies.
Those are allergies, eh?
Allergies. The earlier the better. How old? Maybe asking how old the son is. The earlier the better. We need to do the test for them, and then give the eye drops we give to reduce that irritation.
Now, now this one, I don't know whether to classify it of Joseph from Abim, whether it's okay. Is it okay to go for eye whitening? And also if you're kind of short-sighted, but sometimes I fall, I feel I can see well. Do you think my diet will help a lot to recover? Eye whitening, surely, Joseph.
Okay, I get. I don't want to appear, we are human beings. I do get the issue. Like we have one of our cousins, she was going to do the introduction, but her eyes were red and the pictures had to come out well. So she was telling me, first tell me like a thing I can put now. And I would like to say, I gave it to her. I told her, you're using it only today. After today, you give it to me back or throw it. She's like, okay. Eye whitening, honestly, I would not recommend. What exactly are you trying to hide? And also come out and find out what exactly is irritating you. My eyes, personally, they are not red, like anyone who is in the studio can see. Because there are certain things I'm putting in place. Like, I have sleep time. Certain times I must sleep. Like, if you call me at that time, you reach out to the police if there's an issue. Because me, I'm asleep. It's for protection of the eyes, because I've been working from 8 to 7. I've been fatigued, I've been on these devices. Number 2, if you're going to be on borders, you're traveling, you're in a dusty environment, you've just opened your eyes, you think they also get irritated. So for certain things, I tell people, if you can't get a basic cape, at least get a sunglass. We have these cool sunglasses people are selling. We actually even have, we have what you call, I sell the polarized ones, that even when you're walking at night, you can see very well. So it's very important. There are certain measures you need to put that can keep the color of your eyes before we start now using medication. So it's a thing of, we need to have this conversation, honestly, of what are you trying to hide, sir? But also, what else are you doing that is triggering the redness?
Exactly. Okay.
He had a second thing, but not answered.
Then you have Swabra from Kawempe. She's a student. Her eyes always pain whenever she looks at the blackboard, and they also shed tears.
Come assess for myopia, short-sightedness.
Then I have my mom. She can't see something far. That is Juliet from Lira.
She can't see something far. We need to test for, does she have diabetes, does she have hypertension? They can also be silent killers of distance vision. So assess for those two, but also let her come, we assess for short-sightedness. So she needs to come, okay, if she doesn't have the diabetes and hypertension, then we come assess for cataracts, clouding of the lens. If she still doesn't have out of the 3, we assess now for short-sightedness. Yes. So now you need to bring her. I can't conclude with everything, but if she's within the areas of, if she already has diabetes and hypertension, there is a test we do, IOP test. We test for the pressures of the eyes, and also we do fundoscopy. We check behind the eyes to see how the lenses, how the blood vessels are, how is the retina, the behind part. So we need to assess all those things. So I won't tell you one thing. The earlier the better you bring her, we assess. Yeah. If she doesn't have that too, because I'll still need a medical report of them done. And then we can assess for cataract or assess for short-sightedness.
Okay, and then let me know about the type of conjunctivitis and its treatment. This is someone from Kwan who would like to know. Kwania.
Also for, there are many, but let me give you the 3 common ones. First is allergic conjunctivitis. As you hear the word allergy, mostly it is inflammation of the conjunctiva due to allergens like pollutants. Some people it can be dust, wind, sunshine. 2, and that happens when you're in that environment, that is when they turn red, they pain, they itch. 2, we have what you call bacterial conjunctivitis. Now this one is, as you see the word bacteria, there's an infection that is happening, mostly categorized by discharge. Anyone that has, not this small discharge, consistent discharge. And then for some people even swelling, but mostly discharge. Once you tell me there's discharge, my mind will run to that, because those are signs of bacterial infections. 3, we have what we call viral conjunctivitis. This now happens mostly signs of redness, itching, and tearing, extreme tearing. And for it, unlike allergic conjunctivitis, it doesn't happen when a certain environment comes in. For someone of allergies, they'll tell you when it is cold, when it is dust. They have a condition when. But for viral, it every day. And it just started like recently. So every day they are always paining, they're always itching, they're always tearing. Now for you, mostly you're lying into that category. Then the other categories, they're now, but they're in between the 3 major ones.
Okay. Then is it good to use glasses for the sake of reading, even if you have not tested even if you haven't not tested and you just choose to opt to use reading glasses?
Disclaimer. We have vendors that are selling those things. Recently, I went to the park, and the gentleman told me, "Madam, ezokusomo yagala." I said, "Okay." We are selling these things openly, and people were buying. He's like, "I read it too." Like me, it was the thing of you can actually buy, and they're not sunglasses, mind you, that they don't have a lens. The actual lens. Now people have this thing of they get the number. They tell you, I wear 2+2. I wear this. Medically, they have not been tested. They just crammed it, and now that's where. But anything that you put on your eyes, you'll be tested. That's why we are coming out here to talk. LAPE has put 19 branches all over the country for you to actually test freely. Come walk in and let us find out. Otherwise, now you and the self-medication purpose are not the same people. Eventually, it's going to be the end is still the same. Blurry vision, irritation, it's, unless they're just, we have what we call, they're just those protection wear. Like you just need them for sunlight and for computer screens. That is okay, because they actually don't have any filter for protection. But for reading, I would recommend you first test.
Then this is Viola from Masindi. I have a crack coated nearly on the iris. Sometimes it turns red.
Crack on the iris. Iris. Have you tested before for fundoscopy? Okay, the testing of the full eye. We need to test and see when did that crack start? How are you managing with the crack, first of all? What are the symptoms you're experiencing? When did it start? We need to, there are tests we do to fully examine the eye. There are scans we do for the eye to see.
Okay. Then this is Janet from Iganga. My eyes are dirty, they are yellow, and I don't feel any pain. They even have brown spots. Can you clean them? If yes, give me your contact and I come to your hospital.
We don't clean eyes unless there are certain procedures we do. Let's say something fell into the eye. There's that washing for the eye, but still doesn't take away, doesn't whiten your eyes. But we can have a conversation of a plan. First of all, as I told you, there are certain things we put in place. People want faster things. There are certain things you need to put in place. Your sleep time, you have not told us about that. Your time on screen, you've not told us about that. Your diet, we have not had a conversation about that. So we need to have those full conversations of everything, the food, the sleep, the type, because they're all affecting the discoloration of your eyes.
Okay. Then this is from Entebbe. My eyes sometimes struggle to open. Like I can see darkness for a few minutes. What could be the problem?
Your eyes struggle to
open, and this is darkness for a few minutes.
Still going back to the conversation I had of the muscle spasms and muscle movements, we need to assess for that. Most likely indication of blepharitis, like that's inflammation of the first layer, the eyelids, but also need to come and we check out what's the issue with the muscles.
Okay. Now this is Joel from Mbale. I hope you'll be able to understand, to make out of what he's saying. Why is it that during the hot day when I put on my shades, then later when he goes to bed in the morning, he wakes up with many particles around the eyes as if he has been crying the whole night? And they are itching sometimes in the morning. Yeah.
Still, my dear, you need to come and assess for the allergic conjunctivitis, but also which kind of shades. Not all shades are for protection. Like, for example, I've told you that when you're asking, when you're buying, no, we don't ask these things. It's how it looks. It's stylish, it's comfortable.
Good to go.
Yeah, it is cheap. It's within their budget. But you need to assess for those things. Do they have those aspects? Ultraviolet, tint for sunlight, are they polarized? Like, those things help so much. Otherwise, you just tell me you're wearing sunglasses. Wait, it's Chinese made, so honestly.
Okay.
Let's dive into what exact sunglasses are you wearing? Are they actually for protection or they're just for?
Now this is Elisha. Elisha has two concerns, but let's look at the first one. I'm losing vision. I can't read the Bible. I'm 53 years old.
You're losing vision?
Yes, he can't read the Bible.
He can't read the Bible. Yes.
At 53.
Age-related issue, which is okay. Honestly, just come for the test. We can get for you. Can easily get for you reading glasses.
Okay.
Or
then
progressives, whereby you can walk with it, you can even read. That's all.
Okay. Some herbalists urge that eye drops are poisonous. That we use black salt, black salt in warm water to be massaged on the eyes when closed. Secondly, that you put in a drop of lemon juice. Ooh. That drop, whether the drop is in that water to use to massage. And this is Elisha from Kasese. These are international herbalists. Wow.
I'm still going back to, I don't want to disclaim, because that's a whole department of its own who are doing natural herbs. Some are doing them authentically, but some, the aim is to get money. So for me, it's a thing of be careful. We have gone to school to learn these things for your sake. I sat in class for a long time, just on the eye. My mom keeps telling me, so the whole time you want to say the course, only the eye. I'm like, yeah, that's why we are called specialists, because we have specialized
in the eye.
Yes, I've learned maternity, but like if you bring the eye, it's a no-brainer. It's easy for me to, because I've studied it. So my dear, it's okay. I don't want to disclaim. It's just that you have to be a little bit conscious. Yes, these people, are they certified by NBA? Like, there are those things you need to put in place. Otherwise, yeah, it's your health. You need to be very, very cautious about it.
Okay. Then thanks for the show. I used to wear sunglasses before because I am short-sighted, but when I saw that I could see a little better, I stopped wearing them. Is this dangerous? If so, should I continue wearing the old ones, or do I have to buy a new pair of glasses?
So, personally, I'm short-sighted. And for me, it majorly affected me during school. Once I left school, it was like, why am I wearing these glasses? I can't see, because when someone is short-sighted, their near vision is their thing. The only time they're using it for is when they're in class. But the issue is that this short-sightedness is growing with your body. If you're not correcting it, I have a pair of glasses. I wear it when I'm going to move. So that it does not make it worse in that sense. Because the eyes strain, like when the eyes are put in places whereby they have to read, they strain. And you know, you can't be saying, I can't see that word until I have my glasses on. So first things first, my dear, get the glasses. It's not that you're blind without them. You're not dependent on them. I'm here, I can still work without them. But it's very important that you wear them so that it doesn't make the condition worse. Otherwise, you're going to reach a point whereby you have to wear them, whether you want or not, whereby you would have managed that at earlier times. Number two, still with I think I answered it in a previous question, you need to do routine checkups because your prescription keeps changing. After every 8 months, something is changing. After every 1 year and a half, the prescription has changed. And if it is remain the same, meaning you have done well, which is okay. But also people's bodies are different. Some can get worse as they grow older, some get better. So first go back, we assess. I'll not recommend, you can still put on your old glasses, but the earlier the better you go get a pair.
Okay. Then when at school, at least in a term, it happens when I wake up in the morning, my eyes pain, and the next day they start peeling around. And it's so painful, they appear red and painful. I'm always given eye drops.
I'm always given eye drops. So now that's still, I'll still go back to the allergic conjunctivitis. Because allergies don't heal, we just relieve symptoms. Unless if it is now becoming, because now sometimes you can't depend fully on eye drops. You can get protection wear. At least that even when you're going to be, now if you know you have allergies or coldness, every time it's going to rain or cold, you can have them on for protection wear. Yeah, if you're tired of using the eye drops, which even me, honestly, I wouldn't want to be always on medication for something. You can get just for protection wear, it would help so much with relief. But yeah, if there are allergies, if they were prescribed, that was the indication, most likely it doesn't heal. It's okay. It will come once in a while, go. Learn how to manage it.
Okay. Now you have Julius. My wife always feels severe headache after work, and at times one of her eyes swells due to severe headache. What could be the root cause? She deals with computers because I think she's an accountant.
Digital eye strain. Let her come and get a pair of digitalized glasses. That would help her.
Okay, and then of course we have quite many asking for your contact and where to find you. Mosao, my child started developing reddish eyes, but later developed a cloudy thing where we were advised to put, what is it, kerotic, is it eye drop?
Yes.
Yeah? But the condition is on and off. What is the cause?
Keratoconus still. Now that's, it's another layer. We call it vernal conjunctivitis. It's a severe condition of allergic conjunctivitis. So my dear, it's okay, we still use the eye drop. But also, how old is the person you're talking about?
They didn't say how old the person is.
We need to first see how old is the person. There are certain things we do depending on the age. So the earlier, the better. If you're around, actually, town, would pass by, we test and see.
Okay. Then this is Jason Asimwe from Kazo. I feel pain and very uncomfortable every time I put on sunglasses. Do I have a problem with my eyes?
Which kind of sunglasses are you wearing?
The ones we have negotiated for on the street.
Yes. So which kind? Otherwise, I'm going to be here explaining myself, yet you're wearing the wrong thing to start with. So which kind, my dear?
So there we go. I think for some of them, it's automatic. You're seeing what okay. Okay, we still have another one who is having an issue of the daughter can't face the blackboard. Can darkness in the class, is it because of, they're assuming, is it darkness in the classroom that can be leading to that? Short-sightedness.
Short-sightedness. Let her come, we assess for short-sightedness. as I said, for me, when someone is short-sighted, the struggle is far. Near is okay. And then the problem is that now there are two categories. There are those who can not completely see from afar. That's another layer. Then there are those whereby they are struggling to see. So it's a thing of bring how we assess for short-sightedness. She could be struggling with that.
Okay. Then, hello, I am John following you from Rwanda. I have black floats on my eyes. I don't know whether that makes sense. What's the effect of this? Is it dangerous? I'm scared. Again, I can't read from a near distance.
Near distance, still age-related. Most likely, we need to assess how old are you. And then it's if we can measure you and get for you reading glasses, well and good.
Okay.
And then for the floaters?
You see, he called them floaters or something around
Floaters
the eyes.
in the eyes?
Yes.
We need to first assess for your pressure of the eyes to see. People who have pressure of the eyes, they tend to experience those floaters. So come for the IOP test. There's a test we do for pressure for the eyes.
Okay. I know there are still many of you asking questions. We could go on forever and forever and forever. Wow. But now I have a 10-year-old girl. She's been operated twice. Recently, reading glasses were prescribed and we bought them at 470. Yeah, I won't say the hospital. It's in Tororo. But right now, the child isn't able to read with the same glasses. Oh dear, what could be the problem?
Now, as I told you, for children, their bodies change fast. It also depends how long have they worn them. I've said after every 4 months, the children are changing, especially from the age of 14, from the age of from 1 to 14 years. They are changing very fast because they've not yet even reached like the adolescence age really for them to a little bit stabilize. So for such a person, 6 months, 4 months, you should be going back for a review. If they're not working, the moment they stopped working, go. That's an indication something has actually changed and drastically for their body. So the earlier the better you do that test. Or if you're even around town, you have branches around Bale. She said that she's in Toro. Bale, Ginger, we have around there. You come again, we review and see.
Okay. My neighbor beat up her kid and he developed a blood clot on the eye. How can it be solved?
First of all, that's...
I had to read it the way it is.
But there are certain body parts that are very delicate. Like, if you were to discipline a child, this part should be avoided. Like, we had someone who slapped it was a teacher actually who slapped the girl, and she got a blood clot on the extreme side. And they were suing him for such a thing because it's a deadly part. Like, what happened to the bum? He'd have bitten that. Otherwise, now for that one, it depends how severe the issue is. Is the blood clot in the conjunctiva, the first layer, or inside in the cornea? We manage them differently. If it is inside, they need to be admitted. Yeah, true. Because it can affect their sight. Still, if it is outside, still come back. I would recommend that they come. There are certain eye drops we would recommend and certain behaviors would help. Okay, now there is this one. I'm using LaPair glasses. Is it possible to take back the glasses so that they can put the tinted lens, because I have the lens for short-sightedness and I am also affected by light? So at LaPair, personally, we sell in packages. So the money that you see, if you're a LaPair client, you know that when you come into LaPair, we'll sell for you the whole package. That's a frame, lens, and case. You come back, you can go to the branch where you went to and tell them to get for you a package that has that tint. So they will tell you there is this, as I told you, in LaPair they will briefly tell you there is this anti-glare, there is sunlight, there is digital, there is a fully digital. They will tell you what exactly it is. Though most likely, as I'm telling you as a specialist, we sell in packages, so ask them for the package that has the protection wear. Yes. Okay, I know I'm so sorry. I know many of you are still sending in questions. We are overwhelmed, but trust me, we'll still find the time
to convince Dr. Lynette to do come back on another subject as far as eye health is concerned, and we'll be able to address, I'm sure at that time, since you're constantly there. There are some names now that I can even clearly identify with the numbers. I know you're regulars on the, you know, on the Q and Health Talk show. Thank you so much for constantly following, because that shows that you're very interested in the education. But right now, I would like to say, like, I would like to ask Lynette to share with us her take-home message. What is your final word to a person who's watching you?
Okay. Prevention is better than cure.
True.
So Ugandans, we have a bad tendency, well, it's called a bad health-seeking habit, that something has to happen to the worst for it to come. And by that time, honestly, we are recommending expensive things or high-end things like surgeries or what. Yet, if the moment you indicated something wrong, you would have come. So first things first, if you notice anything wrong with the eyes, reach out. We are on all platforms. We are reaching on TikTok, on Instagram. We are everywhere. Like, reach out. It's a text message away, or even it's just a drive away from where you are. So don't neglect your eyes. Number two, in as much as, because I'm talking as from a layman view, as medical personnel will always tell you to buy eye drops, to buy glasses. It's okay, because their aim is for you to be well. But the behavior changes are very important. Your sleep time is very important as a person. If you neglect that one part, most likely you're going to get repercussions of it. Number two, the things that you eat. Take a lot of water, take a lot of food with vitamin A. I don't want to say, eat this, eat this. Many of you can cram. They told me to eat matoke, or they told me to eat eggs, and that's the only thing you're eating. And you're now constraining yourself. Anyone, you have a smartphone, or you can ask someone, you type in vitamin A foods. Oh, be so good. Like, there are foods that are very rich for the eye. Vitamin A, vitamin B, omega-3 fatty acids. They are very good for the eyes. Me, the one I'm going to say plainly is water. That one, anyone has to take water. The rest, you're one shot away from it. Search for it, they will be so good. And then also, if you have those underlying conditions, diabetes, hypertension, they are silent killers of sight. They need to do their tests we run for you, so that we are sure that even with the sight you're okay. Be cautious. Take your medication diligently. It's very important. Except that, honestly, come for a free eye test at Lapea. We'll be waiting for you.
Don't forget, you're cheating the viewers. They are demanding for your contact.
No.
The rate at which they are demanding for the contact.
So, first things first, I didn't cram the call center number. It would have been better. But on all our social media platforms, they are there. Just type in Lapea, you'll get the call setting. And also, you can book in an appointment for a test. For people now, like you say, you're traveling and you would like to make an appointment and won't be disturbed in line, you can book in your appointment. Yes, at all our social media platforms. At Lapea, just put in Lapea Uganda, book an appointment, we'll book for you. My personal number.
By the time you see her coffee, she's not going to give it to you. But like, she has clearly guided. Thank you so much, Liz. Lynette has clearly guided. If you need to have your eyes examined, and the eye checks in most cases are for free, depending on what level it is. If you get into sophisticated ones, let's like for those with the medical conditions, of course it will come with a cost. Like, there's no way they're going to check your eye pressure for free. That comes with a cost, you know. Some of those super complicated ones, you go with at least your small money somewhere. But for the rest, the routine ones, eye checkups are done in some of these specialized hospitals for free. She says, look for them on any of the social media platforms, Lapea Uganda. Now, I would still also like to caution and tell us, man, eye health is very important. There are no spares for the eyes, so take your eye health seriously. Those small things. Don't introduce substances. Please, let's stop the self-prescription of eye drops. I am very, very sure everybody has like a small bottle of eye drops somewhere there, and there's a specific brand many people like. Anything happens, they're in the eyes. Stop using the eye whitener like you've been told. Beauty, yes, comes with a price, but sometimes some people are going out and they want to look cool, and they're like, oh, my eyes really need to stick out. Haven't you seen that they are white? It's very common amongst the young people. You've been told about the dangers of using eye whiteners. What more do I need to say? I believe Dr. Lynette has said it all. And the next time we shall still have her here with us on set. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of our programming. Bye-bye from me and from Lynette. Your health matters and your voice deserves to be heard. Introducing the show that puts you at the center of the conversation. From common illnesses to complex conditions to the questions you've always wanted answered. Top medical experts.
The cost of maintaining that bed on a daily basis 24/7, because an ICU is a 24/7 unit. One single bed